It's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and summer is just around the corner. So I wanted to do something beach themed. Under the sea themed things are actually my favorite thing to make. Whenever I level my cakes, I'm always left with a little bit of scraps, which I put into a bowl and then I place them in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. And now is the time. So what I did was I defrosted them for about an hour or so, and now I'm just mixing it up with some leftover buttercream that I had as well. What's great about these molds is that you don't need to have the perfect texture. Also, I'm making quite large cake balls this time around, and normally I make really nice and small ones when I'm putting them on sticks. So it's easier to do it this way, but you can definitely do it without the molds as well. For a more detailed tutorial on how to get the perfect texture, you can go ahead and click the upper right hand corner. Pop your cake balls into the freezer for about 30 minutes. Now I'm just spooning some Wilton's Candy Melts in bright white into this chocolate mold. With candy melts, you really don't need to add any non-stick spray or anything. They're going to pop out really easily once everything is nice and solidified. I'm also just choosing shapes that I know are going to fit onto my cake balls. When covering large cake balls with chocolate, I found that this was the only method that worked for me. A word of caution, I made 2 cake balls earlier that had a bunch of chunky chocolate all over it. I'm still going to use them because for this particular thing, I can still salvage them. But in order to make sure that you just have smooth chocolate all the way through, you need to make sure that you add enough vegetable oil. If it's causing chunks, that means that you haven't added enough. This method might look really messy, but it's actually really easy to clean up. All you do is you have to make sure that you put parchment on top of a cookie sheet underneath the pan. Then you're going to take that whole cookie sheet and place it into the fridge. Once that chocolate hardens up, then you can easily just break it back down and put it back into your cupboard to use for next time. Place these cake balls back into the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes or however long it takes for your fridge to get the chocolate to set back up. Since these cake balls don't have a stick, they do need some sort of base that they can sit on. So I'm creating a little chocolate medallion and then I'm placing that cake ball right on top. You see all that chunky chocolate? That is exactly what I'm talking about with the whole not adding enough vegetable oil thing. Luckily for this particular design, it's going to work out just fine. I'm using sanding sugar to make it look like sand, but you could easily use brown sugar or crushed up graham crackers. I'm using my airbrush gun today. Now whenever you are airbrushing chocolate, you need to make sure you use a really light hand while doing it. If you do it too much, then all of that coloring just beads right off. I am using a royal icing brush technique to create the waves in the ocean, and I'm just taking some royal icing. If you want to know more of my royal icing tricks, then you can go ahead and click that link in the upper right hand corner. And then I am taking a brush and I'm just kind of brushing it through. This works best when you let that royal icing kind of set up just a smidge and then you brush it through. Now I will say this technique always looks really easy when it's being executed, but it does rely a lot on the texture of your royal icing as well as when you decide to finally brush it through. The drier your royal icing, the less time you're going to need to wait. Adding some edible pearls, but you could easily just leave it like that. Adding on those shells that we made earlier, you could use royal icing to adhere them, or you can use white chocolate, your choice. Take a little petal dust if you want to add a little bit more depth to your shells. I'm keeping it really simple and just using one color today, but for a more realistic look, you might want to use multiple colors. My sand got a little bit green from all of the airbrushing. If you don't want that to happen to your sand, then you could definitely protect it with parchment or whatever you have on hand. But I'm fine with it being a little bit green, but I do want some sandy gold color to come out as well. These would be so gorgeous on a wedding dessert table that was for a beach themed wedding, or if you were having an Ariel themed birthday party, these would look great as well. I often see cake pops being served, but I really like the idea of an oversized cake ball with no stick. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading daily, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!